A shock loss rocks, sister wives. Christine breaks her silence with a throwback photo that's absolutely gut-wrenching. Then, new beginnings, new walls, new life. Janelle's house build is almost done, and the symbolism is loud. And Kody? Oh, Kody is back in the hot seat, claiming he watched Christine's wedding with a big smile, while David's like, yeah, that was bullshit. Hey besties, welcome back. Grab your snacks because today's Sister Wives updates are equal parts heartbreak, glow up, and total chaos. First up, Kody Brown is mourning the loss of her father, Rex. She shared a childhood photo and an emotional message about what it feels like to love someone through years of illness, and how grief can start long before a person is gone. She admitted she'd been writing about him while he was still alive, but he passed before she could share those words. Now she's posting them anyway, and fans are flooding her comments with love and condolences. Meanwhile, Janelle is giving us a real starting over moment. She just posted an update on the house she's building in North Carolina and called it a journey, not a finish line. And here's the part that hit. She says this is the first time she's ever built a house. Watching it go from a dream to an actual structure feels powerful. After years of adapting and compromising, she's framing this house as a place where she finally gets to choose herself, plant roots, and decorate for her own story, not anyone else's. And finally, the Kody-Christine-David triangle is heating up again. Kody says he watched Christine and David's wedding and claims he was genuinely happy for her, smiling through the whole thing. But fans aren't buying it. Some think he watched to see which kids attended, and others say his history screams jealousy more than peace. And now David is speaking out too, calling Kody's emotional love confession disrespectful, especially because it happened right in front of him. David says it felt awkward, inappropriate, and not exactly blended family energy, more like Kody making it about Kody again. So which version do you believe? Kody's "I'm happy for you" or David's "that was bullshit"? Drop your take in the comments. Before we get into the full story, hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss any of the latest reality TV tea. All right, let's roll the first story. Kody Brown just shared the kind of post that makes your stomach drop because this time the update isn't drama, it's real grief. Sister Wives fans have watched Kody rebuild her life in public, so when she announces a major family loss, it hits differently, and it reshapes how people view her healing journey. On January 15, Kody revealed she is mourning the death of her father, Rex. She shared the news on social media along with an old childhood photo of the two of them, one of those pictures that instantly reminds you this isn't just a headline, it's her real life. And what stood out is that Kody didn't keep it short or vague. She opened up emotionally about what she has been going through, and the way she described it really resonated with people. Kody said she had already started writing about her dad while he was still alive. She was trying to put her thoughts into words, memories, feelings, the complicated parts, the love, the hard parts, everything. But before she could share those reflections, he passed away, and instead of scrapping what she wrote, she decided to post it anyway, even though it hurts. Her father, Rex Clark Allred, was 78 years old. Kody said he passed away on January 8, 2026, in Rocky Ridge, Utah. She explained that he had been ill for years and that long illness slowly changed their relationship over time. Kody described the experience as something that didn't start on the day he died, it started earlier. She talked about anticipatory grief, which is when you begin grieving someone while they are still alive because you are watching them struggle and change, and you know the end is coming. Kody got very specific about what she misses, not only big milestones, but the everyday moments that suddenly become priceless after someone is gone. She mentioned things like driving together and late-night food runs, small routines that don't feel huge in the moment, but later become the memories you cling to. She also reflected on missing the man her father was before he got sick and how painful it is to watch someone you love change over time. And she was honest about the guilt too. Christine admitted that she felt guilty for grieving while her father was still alive. She described how heavy it is to love someone while knowing you are going to lose them, and how emotionally complicated it can be to feel grief long before the actual loss happens. As soon as Christine posted, fans flooded the comments with condolences and support. A lot of people said they could relate because they had experienced similar losses in their own families. The tone in the fan reactions was less about reality TV and more about real empathy, people sharing love, prayers, and personal stories of losing a parent after a long illness. Now, the big question is how this loss affects Christine's healing process. Grief has a way of reopening old wounds, even when you feel like you've already rebuilt your life. And for Christine, who has been so open about her journey forward, this moment adds a new, deeply emotional chapter. Next up, Janelle Brown just shared a major update on her new house and why fans are calling it her most powerful fresh start yet. Janelle Brown is building more than a house right now. She's building a whole new life, and this update is giving fresh start in the loudest way. After leaving Kody and the plural marriage dynamic behind, Janelle has been quietly reinventing herself, and this home project feels like one of the most symbolic steps she has taken yet. Janelle has moved on from her life in Flagstaff and her relationship with Kody Brown, and she's now living in North Carolina near her daughter. For fans, this move has felt like Janelle choosing peace, stability, and a future that actually revolves around her. And now she's sharing a major life update. The home she is building on her new property is coming together, and the way she's talking about it makes it clear this is deeper than a construction project. In a recent social media post, Janelle shared a photo of the house and reflected on what this process means to her. She didn't frame it like, "Look what I have." She framed it like, "Look what I'm becoming." Janelle wrote that building a house is not a finish line, but a journey. She described the process as meaningful, emotional, and sometimes messy, but also grounding. And that message hit a nerve for a lot of viewers because it feels like she's talking about more than drywall and framing. She's talking about rebuilding her life after years of compromise. Janelle also shared that she wrote a blog about the entire journey. She said she has been focusing on planting roots with Taida Farms and choosing herself along the way. That phrase, choosing herself, really stood out because Sister Wives fans watched her spend years being the practical one, the adaptable one, the one who could take whatever situation the family threw at her. She even reflected on how she has lived in many places where she had to adapt and compromise, and she acknowledged that adaptability is a skill, but she made it clear that this time is different. On the Taida Farms website, Janelle explained that this is the first time she has ever built a house. The first time. She said watching an idea grow from a dream to an actual structure feels powerful. And when you put that next to her past, moving from place to place, dealing with shifting family plans, constantly adjusting to what the plural dynamic demanded, it makes this moment feel like a major turning point. This isn't a house that happened to her. This is a house she chose, built, and designed as a reflection of her own life. She also said decorating this home feels less about trends and more about telling her own story. That one line is basically a mission statement, because for so long, Janelle's story was tied to fitting into someone else's world. Now she's building a space that represents her values, her routines, her independence, and the version of her life that comes after the chaos. Fans were quick to praise her for stepping away from Flagstaff and the Brown family's plural dynamic. A lot of people highlighted how far she has come, especially as she balances her business, her kids, and her own personal growth. For many viewers, this update isn't just new house content. It's proof that Janelle is finally creating a life that belongs to her. And next, we have to talk about Kody because he just made a shocking admission about Christine and David's wedding, and fans are seriously divided about what it really means. Kody Brown just claimed he watched Christine's wedding with a big smile, and fans are calling it either real growth or the most delusional damage control ever. After years of messy splits, tension with the kids, and nonstop blame shifting, Kody's reaction to Christine marrying David is a huge test for whether he has truly moved on. Here's what happened. During the season 20 tell-all, Kody sat down with host Sukanya and made an admission that surprised a lot of viewers. He said he watched Christine and David's wedding. Not attended, watched. And according to Kody, he was genuinely happy for Christine. He claimed he had a big smile throughout the ceremony and that seeing her find peace made him feel happy. On paper, that sounds mature, like maybe he is finally accepting the reality of the divorce and her new life. But the reason fans are so divided is because it doesn't match what many people feel they have been watching for years. This is the same Kody viewers saw blaming Christine for leaving, framing her decision as betrayal, and acting like the collapse of the family was everyone else's fault. So when he suddenly presents her wedding as a wholesome moment he enjoyed, people are instantly skeptical. In the tell-all conversation, Kody described Christine's wedding as something that fulfilled her dream, marrying someone she truly loved. He positioned himself like a supportive ex, almost like he was cheering her on from a distance. And that's where the backlash started. Fans took to social media to point out the obvious contradiction. For most of the series, Kody's energy has not looked like supportive ex. It has looked like resentment, jealousy, and a need to control the narrative. So viewers started asking the real question, why would Kody bring this up at all? Some fans said it felt like he was making the moment about himself again, because suddenly the conversation becomes Kody's reaction instead of Christine's happiness. Others pointed to his past behavior and body language over the years, arguing that he has never seemed at peace about Christine moving on. To those fans, the big smile story doesn't feel believable. It feels like a new version of history he is trying to sell during a tell-all. And then the theories got even spicier. One popular take was that Kody only watched because he wanted to see which of his children attended the wedding. In other words, it wasn't about celebrating Christine, it was about tracking the family dynamics and seeing where his relationships with the kids stand. Another group of fans believed Kody looked envious because Christine isn't just happy, she is publicly happy, married, thriving, supported, and fully outside of his control. For someone who has always wanted to be the center of the family, seeing Christine have a major life moment that does not include him could be hard to swallow. Some people even speculated that Kody is still emotionally attached to Christine and hasn't fully processed what it means that she has moved on so completely. Whether that's true or not, it explains why fans react so strongly. Because it's not just what Kody said, it's what viewers remember watching for years. So now the debate is loud. Was Kody's confession a genuine sign of growth, or was it carefully packaged image cleanup for the tell-all? Fans are split right down the middle. Either Kody is evolving or he is rewriting history in real time to look like the good guy, and viewers are not letting him get away with it. And next, David finally responds to Kody's love confession, and his reaction is blunt because he did not hold back. David Woolley just broke his silence on Kody's love confession, and he basically said what a lot of viewers were thinking. Absolutely not. This matters because Sister Wives isn't only about who left who anymore. It's about boundaries, respect, and whether Kody's so-called redemption arc is real or just another performance for the cameras. Here's the latest. As the Sister Wives one-on-one special released additional episodes, David, Christine's husband, finally addressed one of the most uncomfortable moments from the season 20 reunion. In that scene, Kody, while doing what many fans call his apology tour, looked at Christine and said he loved her during their marriage, and he did it while David was sitting right there. At the time, David stayed quiet. No argument, no dramatic reaction, no interruption. But now, David is speaking, and he's making it very clear that he did not like that moment. David admitted he felt confused and uncomfortable, and he said he remembers thinking, "Why in the hell am I here?" while Kody was talking about loving Christine. That line alone lit up fans because it perfectly captures how bizarre the situation was. It's like, why are we having a romantic reflection in front of the current husband? David said the timing was inappropriate and that Kody crossed a line. He called Kody's statement bullshit, and he said it didn't feel respectful to his relationship with Christine. David framed it as a bro code issue, meaning there are certain things you simply do not say to your ex-wife in front of her husband. From David's perspective, telling Christine, "I loved you," was not mature or helpful. It was disrespectful. And then David shared another detail that made fans even more interested. He said he later invited Kody to go off-roading in Moab, and he claimed he did it as a test. David wanted to see if Kody truly wanted to move forward, act like an adult, and be part of a blended family dynamic without turning every conversation into a Kody-centered moment. In other words, David wanted to see if Kody could show real respect and real change, not just talk about it on camera. But, according to David, that test did not go the way Kody would want it to. David suggested the conversation still focused on Kody, what Kody wanted, what Kody needed, how Kody felt, rather than what was best for Christine or for the larger family relationships. David accused Kody of being self-focused and implied that the apology tour wasn't genuine. In his view, it didn't feel like Kody was building peace or trying to repair relationships. It felt like Kody was trying to control the narrative and keep the spotlight on himself. Fans are reacting strongly to David's bluntness. A lot of viewers have been waiting for someone close to Christine to finally say, out loud, what many people have been thinking for a long time. Boundaries matter. Respect matters. And if you truly want healing, you do not put your ex-wife on the spot in front of her husband with an emotional speech that feels more like a performance than accountability. Now, the big question is what happens next, because if David is willing to call Kody out this directly, the so-called blended family storyline might not get smoother. It might get messier, and some fans are already wondering if this is the start of David pushing back more openly anytime Kody crosses a line.